Now, will I actually read that one? I've never managed to get through it. I need to get through it. The other one, well, particularly now, it's kind of my Bible. I hope this isn't showing the background. This one person, I wouldn't want to know where I am. He's kind of my friend, I don't know. I don't know what he is. A master of complete and utter. His whole schema, his whole story could be fabricated, but he's the only one. I don't mind if it is, because through a kind of bizarre poetry, living, really alive, sometimes risque, we've discovered that nothing matters except real fellowship. Anyway, I don't mind what he does. Right, I'm not quite there yet. For the first time in 2 bloody months, a month of just getting my vehicle fixed, being completely and utterly boring away at my head. I don't have stress in my life, but that was just continual distraction and a story in itself as to how totally and utterly dysfunctional this people has become. People who you should be able to depend on. Anyway, that, and then I'm glad I did it. I didn't want to do it, and it'll come to nothing. But 2 weeks hustling, ethical hustling, speaking with quite a few people randomly, seeing if they would like to take interest in writing or a position about society that long I've held, and I don't care if nobody grabs onto it and says, hey, yeah, I could be your writing partner in this, or whatever. Not quite there yet. Yes. First time for 2 months. My one pleasure in life, because I do like to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't have to, but quite often I've used up all my mental energy by 2 o'clock. Have a damn good feed, which I did, and then ideally a half an hour nap, and then I wake up as if it's the second dawn, full of a second wind, but not quite. I haven't quite got the settled back into nothing. I want to settle into nothing, and it's good to be somewhere where I shall not be part of any project. It is not my society to care about. Somebody put something on their feed. I forget what it was. We've long known that everybody is just in this kind of weird. Not me. It's so boring to continually encounter people who you think you're getting on just fine with, or rather, you're having an alive conversation about doing something, even if it's just the slightest collaboration, and then you realise that almost certainly one of those in the great big. Ian McGilchrist puts it one way, and I generally like what Ian McGilchrist says, and then there's others who say it another way. It doesn't matter, because you can't change it. I know why it's there. The reasons are 30 years of turbo capitalism and obsession with the self. The what's his face? A century of the self, and his better ones are the ones from the early 80s. Oh, the fellow who did hypernormalization. We've known about all this for 30 years. His work mixed with Oliver James's Affluenza. It was always going to end up in just a society of Teletubbies frozen, their eyes frozen in the oncoming car spotlights. And it happened. And it's now really going to happen again. But this time I think more seriously, because listening to the Today programme this morning, but we've known this is coming for 15 years. The academics, you know, media commentators, just all of them, your Russell Brands, the lot of them, even your so-called spiritual people, your Tolles, all these kind of people, you know. I like to explore the soul, but you also have to take interest in what's really the fundamental academic or scholarly understanding of economics, for example, which I've no interest in economics for any gain. It's actually interesting. It's like a comedy. The fundamentals of a terrible, unbalanced economy were there 15 years ago. Top academics were speaking about this, and then you have the more fun people like Max Kaiser and Stacey and Max Kaiser. It's all been, and now it's really hitting. Yeah, on this morning, yes, HSBC suddenly pulled all their mortgage deals, and the rest of them are going to follow. That's it. You've got the party's over, and this almost certainly will be due to our £2.5 trillion pound debt, public debt, which all the clever dicks say, well, you can inflate off, you can do this, you can carry on printing money as America has done, blah blah blah. I'm sorry, Britain is in a less good position due Brexit. The fundamentals of Britain are not good, and this is going to end up in one great big bang. So we've now got 2 or 3 years of all of those people, the Teletubbies, lights frozen in the oncoming headlights, when they realised they were obsessed with their body and didn't know how to actually take their body forward and just keep their immunity going by natural reasons, walking, lots of UV, etc. in 2020. They're obsessed that there's going to be a cure. Yeah. They are going to be obsessed that it's going to be a cure for what has been an unviable society for decades. Party's over, and it's going to be very boring. Forget these people. They're just... Anyway, there we go. I was meant to be speaking for 3 minutes. Now it's gone, and I've nearly run out of storage.